Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hilary. I'm a medium psychic. If you're new here, welcome, like I just said. And if you want to know about what I do on my channel, what I do here on my channel is I give my insight as a psychic medium in regards to crime cases and missing people and unsolved cases that people have questions about. So I give clarity and closure to those who are grieving. Hopefully, that is my hope anyways. And I provide answers that I receive from my spirit guides and my higher self. Most of my videos are based on that. So most of my videos are actually based on missing people, usually missing children, because I connect with children the most. I connect with them better than adults. But I'm also now integrating spiritual teachings into my channel, which is super exciting because I am starting to do spiritual mentorship for people, which I absolutely love. It's so much fun. I love doing it because I could talk about spiritual topics forever and ever and ever. But today's video is actually a part 2 of the first part that I just uploaded a few days ago on dimensions. So if you haven't watched that one, you're going to want to watch that one before you watch this one because, like I said, this is a part 2. Okay, so for those of you that are my longtime subscribers, welcome back, you guys. I hope you are having a fantastic weekend. So I wrote down my whole entire script here because you guys know I read off my script because I cannot for the life of me sit here and jibber jabber about a topic like this with you guys, with it being, I guess, not blabbing on and on and on and just going off into a rampage, okay? So I wrote down my whole entire notes. We are going to discuss dimensions 1 through 4. I was going to do 1 through 5, but honestly, like, it's 10 pages already of me just talking about the dimensions 1 through 4. So in the next video, I will discuss the other dimensions 5 through 7 probably. There are 12, so maybe we'll go even higher than that. Well, there is an infinite amount of dimensions, sorry. My dog Sheldon's back there, you guys. But there is an infinite amount of dimensions, as I talked about in my first part. So I'm going to be discussing 1 through 4. The ones that humans, well, 1 through 5 is really the dimensions that us as humans can really get to, okay? Here on this Earth plane. On other planets, we can get to many higher ones, but we'll discuss that another time as well. But anyways, let's just get right into the video. If I'm talking weird again, like I have been throughout my whole entire time since I even started YouTube, if you're new here, if you're wondering why I sometimes have a lisp and talk weird, it's because I had braces. So for the past 8 months, I had wires, elastics on my teeth. So my jaw was constantly readjusting, which is why I'm talking funny. And it's been really, I'm not gonna lie, braces has been really challenging. But 2 days ago, you guys, I got my part 2 as well. I got my second set of braces put on, so I'll show you. So these are the actual braces. Like I said, the first braces, I guess, were them just aligning my jaw, so it was just elastics. Now I have actual braces on, so I'm sorry if I'm talking funny. I also already have a cut on the side of my cheek and a cut down here because of the braces, because that is something, unfortunately, that's very normal that happens when you have braces. Eventually your mouth toughens up, but I just have to go through this. So my teeth are gonna be moving a lot. So I'm probably gonna be talking weird because my words sometimes come out funny because my teeth are moving all over the place. It's obviously the first dimension we're gonna start discussing is dimension 1, which is also referred to as self-awareness only. So dimension 1 is similar to the consciousness of a rock, okay? The first D consciousness is pure being. It is not aware of separation. It simply just exists. It is the expression of oneness. It's also experienced, when you're in 1D, you experience, awakening and enlightenment. It is the experience of pure light and love and nothing else. It is the realization of I am, the soul that is shared by everything in existence. There is no time, past and present and future. It's all present in one moment when you are in the first D, okay? So first D is similar to the very last dimension as well. We can experience 1D when we silence our minds and turn off all of our senses, and this can be done through meditation or daydreaming. The first dimension is also resonated with water in the mineral kingdom, okay? So it is said that dragons, phoenixes, and mythical creatures are expressions from this elemental dimension. First D is also associated with the root chakra, which is focused at the base of our spine, okay? and as humans is linked with security and our identity, with what we are, or who we are on this earth. Okay, so it is our identity that we are a human. The consciousness of a soul will pass through many lifetimes, 84,000 in fact, before it evolves enough to become a physical human being. So that's amazing, right? In the first video, I do talk about the loop. So many humans are primarily first D density entities incarnating into the 3D, and this can be seen in a personality dominated by the root chakra. So you will see humans that are dominated by the first dimension, or they resonate most with the first dimension. These people that are always in the first dimension, to people that are always worried about money, they're always worried about what's going to happen next in their life. They don't trust anything, okay? That is someone, they are very, very focused on the basic human needs. So it's someone that, you know, so someone that say works a 9 to 5 in the corporate world and they miss a day, they get really, really worried about not getting money, okay? So they're very focused on just basic human needs, okay? So we're going to get into the second dimension now. The second dimension is about self and others awareness. So it allows the first awareness of separation, duality, and polarity. It mirrors the first dimension, sort of like mitosis, where a cell splits into two. So 2D is where the energy of love, also known as the first D, splits into positive and negative forces. The opposite forces pull and push each other to create waves of energy, or also known as frequencies. Variations of these frequencies create the diversity of forms in the universe. That diversity is expressed as 3D in higher dimensions. The second dimension is the energy that creates the universe, okay? So from perspective of consciousness, God or source created the 2D separation to express its understanding of its first D self, to allow it to reflect on a separate version of itself, okay? So in 2D, time and space and identity come into existence in their most simple forms. In 2D, we as humans perceive this as there is me, and then there is the environment that I'm in, okay? So 2D is also known as spacious awareness, which is achieved by looking at our environment without focusing on separate objects. So when you see like a scenery and you're not focused on one simple thing, like a tree or something, okay? So most of our modern evolution system is delivered in a 2D, education system is delivered in a 2D reality. So this is in the form of books, movies, even Zoom classes, okay? When we have pets, it is said that we are teaching them how to become 3D humans, because they are in the 2D reality along with plants, okay? So they are existing in the 2D dimension reality. So the human body has a 2D consciousness that is centered in the lower brainstem. This area of the brain maintains life support without any conscious effort, similar to plants. 2D is associated with the sacral chakra, located in the pelvis, and represents nurturing and growing, as well as birth of civilizations, okay? All right, so let's get into the third dimension. This is when we become humans, okay? So I labeled this Welcome Humans. This introduces a third point, which allows for measurement and comparison of objects across space and time, okay? So this allows our environment to be compared to and divided into an infinite number of others for us to interact with. 3D comes into existence when the me, the self, and the not me, self's environment, begin to interact with each other. This allows a birth to an infinity of forms, interactions, and experiences. In these interactions, we measure and compare the different forms, which teaches us how cause and effect, or also known as karma, work in 3D. So these interactions give rise to the ego, which along with our body becomes our 3D identity, okay? So the 3D is our human physical reality that we experience in our daily waking consciousness. There is a strong awareness of our being as an individual with an ego and a body that is separate from everyone and everything else. There is also an incredible diversity of life for us to experience because everything is seen as a separate thing or a separate event. So also known as space and time, okay? There's definitely a lot of diversity in the Earth realm, in our Earth planet. So past, present, and future are seen now as separate, creating the experience of linear time. This allows comparisons and judgments, which lead to desire, goals, hopes, worries, fears, and all emotions. This can be from joy and happiness to anxiety and suffering. Some channeled beings say that our Earth is one of the least flexible, so the lowest level 3D worlds in the universe, resulting in polarities and emotions that are stronger than anywhere else, okay? So Earth is a very special place in the universe because of this. Beings who experience Earth are among the most spiritually respected in all the dimensions. Being born on Earth is desired by a lot of beings because it provides so many opportunities for personal and spiritual growth. Okay, so there is a long line of beings actually that are waiting to reincarnate on our Earth and have the opportunity to experience Earth, believe it or not, because a lot of us will say, why did I pick this planet? It's like some people even relate this planet to like hell, because we experience a lot of pain and suffering. This is the actual planet that we come to experience pain and suffering, believe it or not, because it grows us spiritually, which I discussed in so many of my other videos, right? So all beings on all dimensions can reincarnate on Earth, actually, and most want to, like I just said, because of the experience that are so possible on this Earth. Some beings will reincarnate on Earth simply just to experience this connection from the complexities of the universe. So this is when I talk about we are, as souls, we are all one. So they do this to isolate oneself, to live in their own little world. This is because multidimensional existences is largely unknown on Earth, whereas it is an integral part of all other higher dimensions. And so we sort of come here to experience being an individual human or person or soul, okay? It's sort of like a division of all of us. So however, Earth is much more complex because it is in a lower density dimension. So the complexity means that Earth is more diverse, which is one of the things that makes the physical 3D experience so inspiring, okay? So one thing that comes with a lower is the intense polarity of political, race, and class conflicts. So there are other parallel versions, actually, of Earth that are more flexible and lighter in diversity, closer to oneness with Source or God. I'm not sure. This isn't a religious, okay? I don't talk about religion ever because I'm not religious. I was raised as a Catholic, but I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. So I believe that all religions, there's truth to all religions, but religions were just made by man to separate all of us, okay? To separate us all into different categories, okay? Even further. Other dimensions are closer to being with Source or God or whoever you want to call it. And these are our higher densities. Thus in higher densities of the 3D, 4D, and 5D than we are. 4D and 5D versions of Earth are described as being occupied by humans, but they use more spiritual technologies to communicate and travel through space. So the forms of communication that we are most aware of in our 3D planet are spoken and written words and languages. By comparison, telepathy is used by most other capable beings in the universe. This is 4D, 5D technology that we need to learn and that we are currently learning. So humans have the potential to experience all dimensions and communicate telepathically through their higher mind or consciousness. They are limited to their 3D experiences, though, by their rigid beliefs and their human self, identities that are currently taken for granted, such as, being considered a normal human on Earth, okay? So change your limiting beliefs or will open up our psychic abilities, which is another major gateway in ascending to the 4th and 5th dimension. This is something that I do as a psychic medium. I've worked really hard to drop my limiting beliefs. I've dropped I've dropped so much in regards to when I started my spiritual awakening. It allowed me to access the 4th dimension, okay? So the 3rd dimension is associated within the solar plexus chakra. It represents transformation. And this is the spiritual energy that brought about the Bronze Age, or in the Iron Age, in the modern industrial revolution that has taken us up to today. That we are now in the golden age. We're now in the age of the Aquarius. So technology, scientific rationalism, personal pride, and political and military power are all expressions of the solar plexus chakra. We have been a 3rd dimensional planet for several thousands of years, and many believe we are evolving now into a 4D or 5D planet. The goal of all 3D entities is to transition into a line, so our spirit, also known as our vibration, and the soul, our energy, and the body, our matter, by living as many lives and having as many experiences as possible in 3D. Each experience brings us closer to our individual purpose and mission here on Earth. This is how we discover our true or authentic self. Okay, guys, so now we're going to get into the 4th dimension. So this is the astral plane, also known as the lower level thought and forms, okay? So like 3D, it is built on frequency, polarities, and it comes into existence through interactions between ourself, so our 1D self, and our other 2D self realizes that we are actually both, okay? It expands beyond our physical reality and into our non-physical or spiritual realities. This offers great flexibility to create new realities and experiences. In 4D, there is still a sense of physicality, of time and space, and a strong individualized ego, especially in the lower levels. I was talking to you guys about before, in every dimension, there is a lower, a middle, and a higher part of the dimension, okay? So for example, in dreams, space and time and objects exist, but are less fixed and can, to some extent, be manipulated at will. And this is also known as lucid dreaming. Okay, so you might have heard of lucid dreaming. A lot of people talk about how they have lucid dreams, okay? So fear and anxiety are also present, and so much so that the lower 4D is probably the source of our religious images of hell, okay? So it is also common to see the 4th dimension as where we first go when we die, at least temporarily. A less common belief is that death is the only thing in 4D that we continue or our ego identity, but is slightly more flexible than what we had on Earth, okay? So note that, 7D is where we conduct our life review. Time and space, good and evil become increasingly less pronounced in higher parts of the 4D. Sometimes the word astral is used and refers to the narrow, lowest region of the 4th dimension where a lot of fear is located, okay? So the dreams or lucid dreams that we can have full control over what we create and experience is known to be the upper 4D or the lower 5D consciousness. Some use the word astral as all dimensions above 3D. As humans, we are mostly focused on upper 3D. So we interact with the lower 4D by dreaming, our intuition, our imagination, meditation, psychic abilities, magic, creativity, lucid dreaming, out-of-body experiences, past life regressions, automatic writing, journaling, channeling your higher self and other beings, and ET communications and contact, okay? So these modalities either bring the 4th and higher dimension experiences into the 3D, such as intuition and channeling, or they bring the practitioner's consciousness from the 3D into the 4D, such as an OBE or lucid meditation. OBE is known as outer body experiences. Okay, so you guys know that I talk about astral projection, and when I'm doing my readings, I often will have an OBE, so outer body experience, where I reach this is because I'm trying to reach higher dimensions, okay? Because as a human, even as a psychic and a medium, the highest I can go in my everyday reality usually to the higher 4D realm, okay? Sometimes the lower 5D. I got here, you guys, this is another common question. How I got to my psychic abilities and mediumship and learning about it and everything is by healing myself. This is why I tell you guys how important it is to heal your chakras. And I will make a movie on healing your chakras and more about the chakras as well. First of all, this awakens your abilities, but not only that, it allows you to go into higher dimensions, okay? So, I mean, this is why I can do all this stuff, the channeling, the OBE, the astral projection, okay? So human experiences of transcendental consciousness and cosmic consciousness are ways that 4D and higher dimensions can be experienced. During part or all of a normal waking day and night, while in 3D, people who experience this are referred to as enlightened beings, okay? So the fourth dimension is a product of time, past, present, future. We learn to go through time in the 4D the same way we learn to navigate through the 3D, okay? And this is one type of psychic skill as well. By mastering the 4D, we learn to see and understand all of our 3D lifetimes across many incarnations, where we successfully integrate as many 3D lives as possible as we can, we consciously move to the fifth dimension or transmute into the 5D being, all right? So the fourth dimension is extremely diverse because thought forms only require thought to be created. So whole universes can be and are created by simply thinking them into existence. Multiple versions of Earth and past, parallel, and future versions of ourselves can be seen and visited in this dimension. So our spirit guides, and also extraterrestrial races exist here, and we can communicate with them, and they also communicate with us and travel using the 4D properties and skills and technologies. So this is how my spirit guides and all of our spirit guides, communicate with us, okay? They're coming from like a 4D perspective. So for us humans, our astral body is our 4D self. It is also referred to as our energy body, or our light body, or our etheric body, or emotional body, or the Macabre body, okay? These are all the same thing. The astral body is slightly larger than the physical body. It holds expressions of our personality, including thoughts, desires, likes and dislikes, beliefs, and our inner child. It is also the body we have before we are born and after our physical body dies, okay? So dreams are a portal from the 3D to the 4D. Okay, so in dreams, our astral body can, number one, integrate what we have experienced in our waking 3D reality. Number two, it works out details of what we will create in our future waking reality. And three, meets and exchanges messages and lessons with our higher self and other 4D higher beings, such as our spirit guides. Usually we don't remember these, okay? If you are a lucid dreamer, you will usually remember your interactions. Not always, some lucid dreamers don't, but you'll remember your interactions with higher beings, okay? So this could be spirit, passed on loved ones, your ancestors, your spirit guides, etc. So a common question is 4D good or bad? So some people see the 4D as bad because people have supernatural powers when they can access 4D. Others see it as necessary and supportive, where we further awaken ourselves spiritually. There are negative and positive beings in 4D from a result of, I guess, negative and positive polarities that underlie the diversity of all reality and drive the evolution of all beings, okay? The law of one is learning the way of love, in which we learn to love ourselves and others unconditionally, okay? So this is accessed in the 4D. This is in line with associations drawn in between 4D and the heart chakra. So in this chakra, humankind is focused on community and love and just, I guess, oneness and being at one with everybody. So right now, consciousness as humans right now is we are focused in this Aquarius age and in the golden age, as we call it. Right now, we are focused on transmuting the 3D to the 4D dimension. Okay. The fourth chakra is connected with universal love, community, cooperation, connection, and compassion. The air element is the heart chakra, which brings freedom to easily move and flow to be who we are and not what others say we should be. How humankind is still focused on the third chakra, which is the solar plexus, but we are trying now, and you probably have heard this a lot in spiritual communities, we are trying now to ascend to the fourth dimension. Some people say we already have, but I don't believe that's true, because as a psychic and a medium, most of my waking reality, I would say, is in the lower 4D dimension. That's really where I live at right now. And when I'm doing my readings and when I'm doing meditations, I astral project into 5D and get to higher dimensions to access other spirits that are in those higher dimensions. I really have to raise my vibrations and my frequencies to get there, okay? So I hope this gave you guys some more clarity in regards to the dimensions. I know it's a lot to take in. Trust me, it's a lot, I know. That's why I only did the 1 to 4 dimensions today, but we will discuss 5 to 12 in my next videos. So I'm going to be writing that script next, and explaining you guys about the highest dimensions. Okay, anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will see you on my next video. Bye.